Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about the movies, TV shows, merchandising, theme parks, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, of course I'll be talking about it. So here you are. This again is going to be another response video to the plugged in, focus on the family, but a bit more specific. It's going to be a review that was uploaded on their channel. Of course, it's going to be one of these individuals. And of course, I just have to talk about this because, again, these religious people, they sure love to pick on the live action remake on the film titled Beauty and the Beast. Well, yes, I will admit, Beauty and the Beast is a bad film. The remake, I mean, it's a terrible film. But it's not going to be the same reasons as these individuals will say. I mean, lots of individuals, these religious film critics, if you don't call them that, so they just love to pick at this film. There was even controversy even prior the film was even released. Yes, it had some of the whole gay thing, even though whatever they're talking about isn't even there. And if the Disney company, the directors, I mean, the screenwriters to be more specific, if they wanted to be more inclusive, I felt that they should have done a much better job. If that was actually what they were aiming for, the scriptwriters should have done a better job because the writing in that film is atrocious. Yes, the writing is one of my biggest issues in that film. Aside from the fact it's a remake, the fact it's a remake is one of my biggest issues in the film. Again, well, yes, it is a bad movie, and it should be criticized as a bad movie. But that doesn't mean that the religious people should be homophobic, which they are. Why is this still an issue in this very day? I have no idea. So some woman is just going straight to hell for finding Queen Elsa attractive.
Bruh.
Oh no, there are men out there who like to sleep with other men. Oh, there are women who like to sleep with other women. Oh no, they're acting as if that's just the most barbaric thing ever. Because they treat homosexuality worse than a serial killer.
That don't make no sense.
It's worse than committing the worst crime in existence, according to them.
Oh, that's stupid! Really stupid.
So yes, they'll find a murderer more forgiving than a homosexual. How does that even make any sense? I don't know. That's weird. And it's also creepy that you care so much on who's sleeping with who. I mean, Christ almighty, these religious people just get mad at women for wearing type of fabric because it's too revealing and blah 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 blah, lust demon and controlling bodies, satanic stuff and all that garbage, looking way too much into something that doesn't exist. And it's also already bad enough. Let's say there's a woman that's more seasoned, and let's say her partner is about maybe like say 15 to 20 years younger than she is, and she would get criticized for that. As long as of age, who cares? I could make an entire video on this if any of you want me to. I mean, I could. That could be like a pretty solid topic to speak about, I guess. Anyway,
Your God doesn't judge you on whether you're good or bad. It's all on how gullible you are. It doesn't matter how evil you are. All sins can be forgiven if you but believe. Absolutely. But if you don't believe, then it doesn't matter how good you are. Because the only sin that will not be forgiven is the sin of disbelief. Gullibility is the sole criteria for redemption. If I loved sin, I'd be a Christian.
as long as nobody's bothering you, why do you care? Again, it's terrible. It's a terrible movie, yes, but for not the same reasons as they'll claim. I just have to say that again because I don't want anybody to be twisting my words around because I don't support these views in any shape or form. If you're going to criticize a Disney movie, fine. The Disney's company is not above criticism. If they make bad movies, you should criticize for making bad movies because I want them to do better. I don't hate Disney company, so don't be thinking that I'm making this video because I have some kind of agenda against Disney or anything. No, that's not the case. And yes, I did criticize Disney for making some mistakes in the past, of course. But that's only because I want the studio, the company, to get better. I want the studio to improve. So, if anything, my criticism towards the company is out of love.
In the not too distant future, next Sunday AD, there was a guy named Joel, not too different from you or me. He worked at Gizmonic Institute, just another face in a red jumpsuit. He did a good job cleaning up the place, but his bosses didn't like him.
Not some kind of a pessimistic point of view. Whereas with these religious people, the vast majority of them anyway, are doing it because they have an agenda and then turn around and claim that Disney has an agenda. I can't stress that enough. Just to make this perfectly clear, all right? Just for anyone that's new to this channel, just for anyone that's going to watch this video, all right, I'm just putting it out there. Just want to give some idea of what I'm referring to. All right, enough of the jibber jabber and let's just get into it. Ugh.
The movie Beauty and the Beast tells the fantasy tale of a young woman named Belle. She's a bright and compassionate gal who realizes that something dire must have happened to her sweet but absent-minded father.
Again, you skimmed over a lot of detail, and I do mean a lot. Before we get to that segment, there was like a whole piece you glanced over because the Beast started off as a prince, and just like the original film, he was of course really arrogant. Of course, this is to build up to the relationship between the Beast and Belle. Of course, it was going to build up to that because that's probably the most important part of the film. Anyway, moreover, is that this prince individual was cursed by this witch because the witch was trying to play this kind of game, I guess, so to speak, because she looks ugly as shit. But she's trying to see that since the Prince Charming over here is attractive and handsome and all that, but he has an ugly personality. In other words, basically what happened right in the beginning part, she wanted him to match the outside, his inside to match the outside. So bada bing, bada boom, there you go.
When his horse returns home without him.
Yes, that did happen, but again, you glanced over a lot of detail. Again, because her dad, Belle's dad, I mean, was in the wrong place, wrong time, kind of a deal here, because her father was out in the woods and whatnot, got scaled off into this castle. He went to this castle for a little bit, of course, for a moment, but then Beast put him as kidnapped him and imprisoned him there because he's not supposed to just randomly going to people's houses or someone else. I mean, I can't really blame the Beast for getting mad because her father is a complete stranger and he's not supposed to be there. So there's lots of bits you scanned over.
After coaxing the horse to carry her back to her dad, she finds him sick in a frozen cell in a forgotten old castle.
And again, you glance over a lot of detail. She only went out searching for him because he was out for a little too long. So Beast and Belle made a little trade-off. I'll stay here and take his place. And off he went. Because Belle is usually the diplomacy type of thing, and then she had to figure out how can she herself get herself out of the situation. So a bit of a pickle she's in at that moment.
But worse, the dear old man is being held there by the castle's surly owner.
Who's there?
Do you wish to take your father's place?
Come into the light.
A raging beast who was once cursed by an enchantress. And the only way Belle can set her papa free is if she agrees to take his place.
I just said that. Literally. You fuck.
What if she is the one? The one who'll break the spell?
You probably already know this story.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
If you keep pointing out the obvious, I'm gonna go to your wife and raw dog her.
And this live-action version of Disney's 1991 classic animated musical is a thing of sumptuous beauty all on its own.
You lie!
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that because it's absurdly boring. And again, you skimmed over a lot of detail because I don't know why you would do that. But anyway, But it's just boring because I already know the story. We all know the story. We all know how this plays out. If anything, it's just for stretched. It has a relatively simple premise, but it's stretched for over 2 hours. I mean, it's boring if you ask me.
It talks of self sacrifice and looking for good beyond a rough exterior.
Well, yes, those themes are in the movie, just like it was in the original. That's true. But my problem here is that the reason he's saying this, the reason he's saying all this, because he's acting as if the only way you can do good in the world only if you're Christian. Otherwise, it's impossible for anybody, like any non-believer, to do good. Which, of course, is overly simplifying human existence because it's a lot more complex than just that.
But you've probably also heard that the film's director stated that this pick features Disney's first quote unquote gay moment. And indeed, there are.
You're just saying that to be homophobic, which you are. And my criticism, my only real criticism towards this quote unquote gay moment is that if that's what Disney wanted to do, it's done poorly, is what I'm getting at. You can have it, but the execution is bad, is what I'm getting at. This is bad execution. I mean, if you want to have a gay character, sure, I personally don't care if they want to do that because gay people do have the right to have representation. But my problem, it's poorly written. It's poorly, everything about the movie, literally everything about the film is poorly done. Literally everything.
There are some mild but unfortunate elements included here.
Why would it be unfortunate to feature gay characters? Why? Seriously, why? What are you talking about?
That are being used to make an activist statement. They might require some parental explanation at the very least. Sadly, because of all this, I can.
Again, what's the issue? What gay moments? Where? No, seriously, where? Where? Point them out. Where exactly? Seriously.
Only give Beauty and the Beast a mere 2.5 rose petals out of 5 for family friendliness. For an in-depth review of this film, or really anything else at your local box office.
And of course, you can give it a poor rating just because of these supposedly gay moments in the film. Again, seriously, where are they exactly? What?
Be sure to check out PluggedIn.com. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Bob Olszewski for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
Okay, that's it. That's his review. That's literally his review. He didn't really say anything other than the fact he's homophobic. It just came off. He just produced, or at least somebody helped him to produce this video, just to bring up the whole supposed gay moment. And again, if that was what Disney wanted to do, fine. I personally don't care. If they want to have a gay character, fine, whatever. My problem here with this is the execution. Of all the movies they could have done, I want to say whoever wrote the script, whoever made the production a thing of the movie, why a remake though? Why can't you just create your own original content? How about have two, I don't know, it could be two princesses, it could be two Prince Charmings, I don't know. Those are so many things you can do here. Maybe two, I don't know, two warriors, two soldiers, male or female, who are serving the king or Prince Charming or whatever. There's like so many days. You're gonna do so many things. Maybe there could be a maid. Yeah, somebody's maid could be gay, or maybe someone's servant. I don't know. Maybe the person who cleans the castle, like the person who paints the castle. I mean, I don't know. There's like so many things you could do with this. If you still want to keep it in the realm of fantasy and princesses, you can actually. But my problem here is the fact it's a remake. Why can't you just do something more original? I've complained about Disney and other companies, or just, I guess, specifically the directors, I mean, just for remaking everything. It's boring. I've seen this movie already, like I just said a moment ago. But anyway, let me just wrap this up because there's not really much else I can say, really, because I feel like I'm regurgitating myself, and there's not much to work on. This review is, if you want to call it, is too short. But he's full of shit, and the movie's terrible. That's all I'm going to say is, really. So anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time,